Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Felicia and I'm here with Lina today. We're here for another round of basics class, and today we're going to focus on backbends. So if you have 2 blocks, that would be great. We need some kind of something that we can squeeze later on that we can use for our backbends. Or if you don't have 2 blocks, a yoga belt will also do, or some kind of belt, maybe the belt of your bathrobe or something that you have at home. And we're going to start with our 2 blocks. If you don't have a block or 2 blocks, you could also take a blanket and roll it up the long side, and then bringing that blanket onto the mat this way and laying the shoulder blades on that. If you have the blocks, take your 2 blocks and bring them to the lowest level, 1 for the head and 1 for the chest area. And then we lay down on there. And if you feel uncomfortable with your head on that block, you could also take the block higher, 1 level higher, so your head is a little higher. And your arms can be by your side, palms facing up, or if you feel like you want to go a little bit more into that opening, you could even extend the arms overhead and take opposite elbows if that feels good. Your legs can be extended. If that's too much for your lower back, we don't want that. You can bend your knees and place your feet to the floor and just let the knees fall together. Good. When you're here and in your position, you can close your eyes for a few moments. We're going to start with just laying on these blocks or on your rolled up blanket if it's there, and deepening our breath. So begin to deepen your breathing. Feel how your breath is expanding your body, your upper body as you inhale, and releasing the breath as you exhale. So each breath you take in and out, begin to make it a little bit bigger. Breathing more air in, breathing more air out with the exhalation. A few rounds just like this. And feel how your rib cage is widening with every breath. And then begin to deepen your breath. As you inhale, you lift the breath up into your upper part of your spine and chest. And as you exhale, you move the breath down and out. So it's that movement of the Ujjayi breath. The inhale lifts the breath up, and the exhale breathes out and down. If you know Ujjayi breath and you're comfortable with it, you can begin to find that here. Otherwise, you just stay with that, focusing on bringing the breath more upwards as you inhale, and as you exhale, bringing the breath down and out. And while you're breathing like this, you can feel how you're expanding the rib cage, not only to the front, this is what we usually do, but now try to extend and expand the rib cage to the back where your block is, to the sides of the rib cage, and also to the front. So you have all 4 sides and the spaces in between that you're expanding into with every inhalation that you take. And your lower back stays relatively long. We have that opening in the upper back, in the upper part of our spine. So this is the first thing that we want to take from this exercise that we're doing right now into our backbends later on. We don't want to overarch in our lower back. Here we already have that natural curve in the spine. It's easy for us to backbend in the lower part of our spine. But we want to try to keep that lumbar spine super long and extended, and find the opening in our chest area, in our upper part of our spine. So right here where you feel that block right now, or the blanket, that is where we want to find the back bends. 2 more deep breaths like this. Expanding the ribcage, breathing back into your block, to the sides of your body. Exhaling deeply out. Last breath in. And out. If you have the arms overhead, gently bring the arms down by the side of your body. And then bend your knees, place your feet down, and rolling onto one side off the blocks. Take the blocks to the sides, and then take a breath here on the side. And roll back onto your back. Extend the legs. The chest is now in its natural curve, completely relaxed. And just feel how your breathing feels, how that space that you just created in the last few minutes, with your breathing, with the help of the props. Just feel how that space feels now, how the breath feels in that space of your upper spine. And then gently move your fingers and toes and hands and feet. Stretch the arms overhead, stretch the sides of the body long. Bend your knees, roll onto your right side again. And then find your way up to sit, to find a comfortable seat on your blanket or on your block, lengthening the spine. Rest your hands on your lap. Breathing in together. Breathing out, arriving in the seat. Bring the hands to your heart. Take a moment to set an intention for this practice. If there is something you would like to bring to your awareness. Take a breath in for Om. Om. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shanti means peace. May there be peace within you. May there be peace within the other in front of you. And may there be peace in everyone and everything around and in between. And may this practice in some way be a contribution to a peaceful togetherness, a peaceful heart. And bow your head down to your heart and to your hands. And gently open your eyes, release the hands down. From here, come onto your hands and onto your knees into a cat-cow position. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders and the knees underneath your hips. And for cat-cow, breathe in, open the chest, lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine, push the ground away. Inhale, opening the chest. arching the spine as you exhale, rounding, rounding, rounding. 2 more like this. Open as you inhale, even lift the gaze, lift the chin. Exhale, push the ground away. Last time, breathe and feel the movement of the spine here. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale to a neutral spine. And exhale, tuck your toes. Bring the seat to the heels for downward facing dog. Extend the legs. Relax here. For the magic 6, we're going to do a short version of it. So 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Exhale, relax the neck. You can always keep your knees bent in this position, lifting the sitting bones high up, relaxing the neck for 3. Breathing in. Breathe out 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, walk your feet about 30 centimeters behind your hands and open your feet hip width apart. Bend your knees as much as you need to bring the hands down, or take your 2 blocks underneath your hands to bring the floor up. So both hands and both feet are grounded. If it's possible, you extend the legs, relax your neck. Breathing in. Breathing out, we stay for 4 more. Inhale, exhale, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale, breathe in. And breathe out. Walk your feet mat width apart, toes pointing out, and bend your knees into a squat. If your hips are here and you're comfortable, that's good. Otherwise, take your blocks. Either sit on your block or slide them underneath your heels if they're very high in the air. Hands to the heart, lengthening the spine. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 4 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Breathe in. Breathe out 4. Last one. Inhale. And exhale 5. Use your hands behind you to gently sit down onto your hips. Take the blocks to the side. Extend both legs to the front for teepee twist. Where your knees are, bend your knees and place the feet down. Wrap the left arm around the shin bones. Reach the right arm up and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Keep your knees together. And if you feel that you're rounding your back, walk your feet a little further away from you so that you're extending the spine. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathe out 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come to center, wrap the right arm around, and exhale, twist to the left side. Keep the knees together at the front, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale 2, breathe in, breathe out 3, inhale, exhale 4, breathe in, breathe out for 5. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, extend both legs to the front. Good. Bend your right knee in and place the right foot to the outside of the left leg. Lift your left arm up, breathe in. And exhale, twist to the right side. Breathing in, lengthening the spine. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale for 5. Inhale, come to center. And then exhale, extend the right leg, change sides. Left foot to the outside of the right leg. Right arm lifts up. And exhale, twist to the left. Flex the front foot. Breathing in. Breathe out deep in the twist. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Breathe in. Breathe out 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, extend both legs. Bend your knees halfway in and open the feet hip width apart this time. For tabletop, place your hands behind you. Fingers pointing to the hips if that's too much in your shoulders or wrists. Fingers pointing out. Lift the chest, chin to the chest, and then inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Maybe the head goes back or you keep the gaze at the knees for 3. Breathing in. Breathe out 4. Last time, inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, chin to chest. And slowly release down. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring the forehead to the knees, round the spine. Relax your neck and your shoulders. And from here to come to stand, keep your feet grounded. Soles of the feet touching the ground. Open the knees to the side, but keep the toes on the floor. Extend the arms forward and up. And then use momentum to shift weight into your feet and come to stand at the front of the mat. Maybe you need your hands on the floor to lift you up. That's totally normal. And then come to stand at the front of your mat. Take your blocks to the front so that you have them in a moment. Breathing in together. Breathing out. We're going to do a little bit of a softer variation of the Jivamukti A sun salutations without chaturanga and just a little bit more on that, concentrating on the back bend. So belly comes in, breathe into your chest. Imagine again you're expanding the chest with every inhale. And as you exhale, you breathe it out and you gently engage your abdomen. That helps us to already lengthen the lower back. One more breath together. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, hook your thumbs. Reach your arms forward up next to your ears and then gently arch back, keeping the core engaged. Exhale, bend the knees, swing forward and interlace the hands behind your back. Good. From here, release the hands down, bend the knees, step the right foot back into a lunge, and just stay here on the exhale. Stay here, open the chest as you breathe in, push the right heel back. And now on the exhale, step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly roll forward into plank pose, shoulders over wrist. And exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin. Keep your elbows really close. Inhale, slide forward to cobra pose. Stay here. Exhale, just forehead down to the ground. Now push your pubic bone down into the earth so you're lengthening your lower back. Cobra pose one more time. On the inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, now tuck your toes, seat to the heels. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot in between your hands. If your foot doesn't come all the way forward, take your hand and use it to step the foot a little forward. Opening the chest, left heel pushes back. And then exhale, step the left foot next to the right, fold down over your legs. Hook your thumbs, bend your knees, reach up and arch back. And then exhale, reverse, bend the knees, swing forward, interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale the hands down, the left foot back. We stay here as you exhale. Open the chest more, breathe in. And then exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, slowly come forward to plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the ground. Inhale, slide forward, cobra pose. Stay here, forehead down to the ground. Push the pubic bone down so you're lengthening the lower back again. Keep all the weight out of your hands, just from the core and the back of your body. Lift the chest higher. Stay here, exhale, lift the hands away from the ground. Breathe in, push the pubic bone down to lengthen the lower back. Exhale. One more breath in. And then exhale, hands down, forehead down. Tuck your toes, bring the seat to the heels. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Stay here as you exhale. Breathing and opening the chest. And exhale, step the right foot next to the left, fold down over your legs. Inhale, bend the knees, hook your thumbs, reach up and arch back. Come to stand, exhale, Tadasana. The same thing, but without the little breaks. Inhale, hook the other thumb on top. Reach your arms forward, up, gently arch back, abdomen engaged. Exhale, bend the knees, swing forward, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale the hands down. Step the right foot back. Your hands can be on blocks here. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale slowly forward to plank pose. Exhale, bring the knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, slide forward to cobra pose. Belly button in, pubic bone down. Exhale, tuck your toes, seat to the heels. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, the left foot next to the right, fold down. Inhale, bend the knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, swing forward, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale the hands down, the left foot back to a lunge, open the chest. Exhale, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale slowly forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down. Inhale, slide forward to cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, seat to the heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot steps forward, open the chest. Exhale, the right foot next to the left and fold down. Inhale, bend the knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Come to stand, exhale, Tadasana. Take a breath in and out. Good. From here, step your left foot way back on your mat. We're going to go into warrior one. So make the step really big and turn your back toes 45 degrees out. Front toes are pointing forward. Take your hands to your hips and really square your hips forward, but at the same time ground through your back foot, the outer edge of your foot. What happens a lot of times is that the back foot, we kind of lift to the inside and the small toe lifts away from the floor, but we want to ground the outer edge of the foot in the back. Okay, from here, keeping that grounded, begin to bend your right knee, bringing the knee over the heel. Now, if you have a little bit more space, you can make the step a little bigger, but the knee stays above the heel. The thigh can be a little bit like this, or even parallel to the ground. But still, your hip is squaring forward and your weight is in the back foot. Keep breathing. Good. Now you already feel that back bend across your left hip and thigh. Belly button pulls in, so we're not falling into the lower back. Belly button in, tailbone down. Reach the arms just forward and the palms together. Imagine you have a imaginary connection from your hands and your heart. And you're not just lifting the arms, you're lifting the heart up, and by lifting the heart, the arms lift. And then they stay here in front of your torso before you cannot see them anymore. So we don't overarch the arms to the back, we keep them at the front, so our neck stays long, our gaze can go up to the thumbs, but we still have that opening from the chest, from the heart. 2 more deep breaths. Keep the front knee bent and the back foot grounded. Last breath in and out. Nice. Inhale, extend the leg, release the arms. And then exhale, step to the front of the mat into Tadasana. Second side, step the right foot back, make the step really big. Grounding the back of the foot down, the outer edge of the foot. Toes are pointing out 45 degrees. Hands to your hips, and then square the hip forward as much as it's possible for you. It's already an intense back bend across the right hip crease and thigh, especially now that we begin to bend your left knee. So the hip is coming deeper, the stretch is becoming more intense. Right, if that's possible, again, square your right hip a little more forward and ground the outer edge of the foot. Breathe. Reach the arms forward. Belly button is pulling in. Tailbone is tucked down. Connect the arms and the heart. And then inhale, lift the arms just so you can still see them. And see how beautiful Lena's neck is. The eyes are going up, but we're not throwing the head back. We keep that natural curve of the spine. The heart is lifting and leading the movement. Breathing deeply in. Breathing deeply out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, extend the front leg, release the arms. And exhale, step to the front of the mat. Relax the shoulders. So you always, of course, have the option to keep the arms shoulder width apart, especially if you have tight shoulders or an old injury, something that prevents you from closing the hands above your head. You keep the arms shoulder width. Otherwise, maybe it's a good challenge because we need more strength and muscles, and we're training our arms when we begin to really close the hands and press them together in that prayer position above the head. It needs a little bit more strength, and it also helps us to really reach the heart up. So next time you do Warrior 1, the pose that we just did, you can try it out. If you always do it with the arms open, see what happens when you bring it together. It's a little more energizing, maybe a little more strong. From here, we're gonna bring the hands down to the ground and then just step back into a downward facing dog. Good. On the inhale, come forward into a plank pose. And together, exhale the knees, chest, and chin down to the ground. Inhale, slide forward to Cobra Pose. And then exhale, release the forehead down. And extend the arms back beside your body. We're going to do a Shavasana variation. Shavasana is great because it's not about back bending as much as you can. It's really about training our back body to help us lift. So we're not going only on flexibility, but we're training these muscles in the back, around our spine, in the back of our legs. Also very good for the lower back, to keep it long and not overarch here. So this is a very good back bend that you can always do. Also, if you do open classes or more advanced classes, and the teacher tells you to do a more advanced, deeper back bend, but you know that it's not comfortable for your body, you can do this back bend. And today we're going to do it with our block. If you don't have a block, you have a belt, and I'm going to show you both variations. So if you have a block or something similar to it, we're going to take it in between the calves. So here is where Lena's calves are, and we're going to take it to that, to this size between the calves. And then she's just going to squeeze it, and just by squeezing already her legs are activating, her lower back is lengthening, but we want to help the lower back a little more by really pushing the pubic bone down into the ground. So her lower back is lengthening. Good. This is very good if your lower back likes to complain when coming into this asana. You can take that block. This way your legs stay hip-width apart and you're still engaging. Arms are by your side. For now, let's do the variation where your palm is facing up, forehead to the ground. Good. Before we lift the legs, we think about the front of our body. Begin to lift the shoulders up and squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. Imagine you're holding a piece of paper between your shoulder blades. You don't want to lose it. Good. Squeeze it together. Push your pubic bone into the ground, lengthening the lower back. And now inhale, lift the legs and the torso up. And breathe. Remember, the shoulders are squeezing together. The hands are down right now. And you can push the back of the hands down and see what happens. Maybe you can lift a little higher. You're squeezing that block. I can't remove it even if I wanted to. And then gently release down. All right. Relax the hips, relax your neck. The neck stays long. Also here, sometimes it happens that we throw the head back and then we overarch in our neck. But we want to keep that natural curve. So the gaze is just a little in front of you. The neck stays long. You can think about pressing the back of the head up rather than looking up to the ceiling. Now, if you have a belt, you can do this variation with me. Otherwise, you just repeat that same thing with the block. If you have the belt, you'd make that loop of your belt, maybe around hip width apart. And then I slide it around Lena's feet and again around her calf. So just where your block was, that's where I put the belt. And you can release the legs for a moment. So now the only thing that changes, instead of pushing the legs together, she's pulling the legs apart to the sides. Both of these are very good for the lower back, kind of bringing more space into that part of our spine and hip area where they connect. So everything stays the same, but we're gonna turn the palms the other way around, palms facing down. And there's no right or wrong, it's just different variations. There's more variations for your arms. I like to just switch it up sometimes because all of them have a little bit of a different impact. For some, this one's easier, for the other one, the other version is easier. Just trying it out and see what works for you is best. Good, bring the forehead down to the ground. Squeeze your shoulder blades again together, lifting the shoulders up and press the pubic bone down, lengthening the lower back. And now already pulling the legs apart, lift the legs and the torso up. Pull the shoulder blades together, keep the neck long, having that natural spine. Breathing in deeply. Breathe out. Imagine like you want to rip the belt apart. Breathing in. Breathe out. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale, release down. Good. Relax the hips from side to side. Good. And taking the belt out to the side. And now taking all of this together, we're going to do one last variation of Shavasana. If you know that your legs want to stay hip width, you keep them here and imagine you have the block or the belt. Or you can try to close the legs together all the way and then really pressing them together closed. For the last variation of our arms, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. This requires a lot of opening in the shoulders, so if that doesn't work, you just find one of the other variations that we did earlier. If you're here with me with the hands interlaced, push your pubic bone down into the ground and already just lift your hands up. Only the hands, the forehead stays down, and the hands lift away from the tailbone. So we're opening in the chest. And now inhale, lift everything up. Shalabhasana, more advanced version. Try to keep the legs together. Requires a little bit more work, extending the legs all the way. So not the knees bend. Lift the hands away from the tailbone and breathe. Neck is long. Last breath in. And then exhale, release down. Relax the shoulders completely and breathe deeply. Beautiful. So this back bend is one that helps us strengthen, helps us prepare for the deeper back bends, which we're going to go into right now. So for the deeper ones, it's very useful to take a blanket. If you have a blanket, roll it up the long way, like we had earlier when we did in the very beginning, laying down on the blanket. We're going to do 3 different variations of Dhanurasana bow pose. So for the first one, I'm going to slide that blanket underneath the rib cage of Lena. So her belly button is kind of free and the blanket is just underneath her chest. And then the forehead comes down. She bends the knees. Take the ankles from the outside. And then before we come up, again, you try to lengthen the tailbone down. And from here, inhale, you lift everything up. And because you have the blanket here, it helps you to open the chest more and lift the chest higher. Breathe deeply. The chest is the part that a lot of times doesn't want to come up. And it's a little bit hard. So right now we have that advantage of the blanket. We take one more breath in. And then release down. Relax the legs, relax the shoulders and neck. And then I'm going to take the blanket out. And we're going to slide the blanket a little bit lower. And we're going to bring it just underneath our hip bone. So between our pubic bone and our navel. And that's where we're going to take the blanket now. And this is going to help us do the opposite of what we just did. It's going to keep our torso a little lower and going to help us lift our legs a little higher. Good. From here, bend your knees, take your ankles again. Now try to remember keeping the lower back long, and now inhale, lift everything up, and you will see it's way easier to lift the thighs, but it's quite hard to lift the chest. Take 2 more deep breaths, opening the front of the body, especially the thighs across the hips. Last time in, and then exhale, release down, relax the hips, breathing in. And breathing out. We're going to put both of these together, taking out the blanket. Just lay down onto your belly. So if we want to do Dhanurasana, the bow pose that we're doing right now, we want to try, ideally, to bring the shoulders and the knees about equal height. So everybody, all of us have our tendencies. For most of us, it's going to be a little more difficult to lift the thighs higher than the chest. And for some, a very few, it's going to be the opposite way. But today, now we already felt how it feels to lift the chest higher, how it feels to lift the legs higher. Now we're going to try to bring it to an equal height. So bend your knees, take your ankles. First, before you lift, you lengthen the tailbone. Now inhale, lift everything up and try to think your knees and shoulders in one line. Exhale, very good. Breathing in. breathing out. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Last two. Breathe in. Breathe out. See if you can lift maybe your chest or your thighs a little higher. Last one in. And then exhale, release down, relax everything. Relax the hips from side to side. Extend the tailbone down towards the feet to lengthen the lower back. Beautiful. Extend one arm over your head and roll onto your back. Bending the knees. Place the feet close to the hips. And we're going to go into half wheel. Bring the feet about so you can touch with your hands. When you extend the arms to the feet, you can just about touch the heels. Now press in the feet and lift the hips up. And interlace your hands underneath. Walk your shoulders underneath the chest. This is half wheel. Has many different Sanskrit names, but one that I like to use is Ardha Setu Bandhasana. Keep your neck really long, so your neck is not pressing down into the earth. Lift the chin a little bit higher towards the ceiling, just a tiny bit, so you have that natural curve of your neck in your spine. One thing that likes to happen here is that our knees fall apart. Try to keep them engaged. Imagine having a block here. And then release the hands and slowly roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Let the knees fall together. Bring the hands to your belly or your heart. Close your eyes for a few moments. Good. And for our last and final back bend today, we're going to go into a supported back bend. So again, if you have a block, take your block. If you don't have a block, maybe you have some kind of cushion or a little podest like this one, or a blanket that you can fold really high. Take whatever you have, lift the hips up, and then slide the block underneath your sacrum. Lena takes the block on the highest level. You don't have to do that. You can always take it to the second level or even to the lowest level, wherever feels comfortable for you. Arms by your side. And then maybe you want to stay here. That's perfect. Make sure your lower back is lengthening. So your block is not on your lumbar spine. It's really on the sacrum. It's further down on the hips. If you want to go with me, you can begin to extend the right leg away from you on the floor. A foot is on the floor. And then you're just extending the right leg. If that doesn't work for you, it's a little bit too intense, just keep both knees bent in this half wheel version. Or you can also take the block a little lower, because sometimes we just have the block too high. And if you have the right leg extended with me, bend it again, place the foot down, and then change sides, extend the left leg away from you on the floor, allowing the left hip crease to expand and extend. Deep breath. And then bend your left knee again, place the left foot down. Lift the hips up, take the block out to the side, and release everything down. Press the lower back gently into the ground to really ground that lumbar spine, sacrum area. And then pull your knees into your chest, roll from side to side. Massage across your lower back from right to left, from left to right. A few times. And for a happy baby, bend your knees next to your body. Take your outside of the feet. If that's too high and your lower back lifts or your chest lifts, take your ankles or even the back of your thighs with your hands so that your lower back stays grounded. Your shoulder blades are on the ground. Breathing into that opening of your hips and the length of your lower back. Now wrap your arms around your shin bones one more time. Bring the forehead to the knees. Roll up and down a few times along the spine, up and down. And come all the way up to sit for a gentle version of Paschimottanasana, forward fold. You can bend your knees, wrap the arms around your thighs. Connect your belly to your thighs and then walk your feet away from you just so much that you keep that connection of belly and legs, and then relax your head forward. Maybe it's touching the knees, maybe it's just in the air, or allowing the back to round, the spine to round, shoulders relaxed, breathing deeply in, and breathing deeply out. And if you want to stay here, you can stay here, or you lift the torso and extend the legs all the way. If you can take hold of your feet or your ankles, you do that and then fold a little bit deeper into a gentle forward fold with your neck relaxed, your breath deep, breathing in, breathing out, releasing any tension in your spine. And slowly roll back up to sit. Close. Extend the legs if you had them bent. And slide a little bit forward on your mat to lay down onto your back. And for Shavasana practice, release the arms by your side. Bring the arms, palms facing up. So your shoulders relaxing, legs falling apart. Take one more deep breath in. Open your mouth and exhale through the mouth out. Release all the tension in the back of the throat. Allow your chest to just relax down into the earth. Become still for a few moments. Shavasana. very gently begin to come back into your body, moving the fingers and toes, the hands and feet. Stretch your arms overhead, reach long across the sides of the body. Bend the knees, roll onto the right side. And come up to sit. One more time, finding a comfortable seat to end this practice. Bring the hands to the heart. Take a breath in for 1 Om. Om. Bow your head down to your heart. Take a moment to give gratitude for this time that you had to invest in yourself, in your body, in your heart, in your mind. And gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence and practice. Thank you, Lena. If you have any questions, comment them down below. Tell me how you're feeling, what other asanas you would like to see in this format. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And I see you in the next one.